All right. Hey, everybody. I am coming to y'all today. We are going to be talking about eliminating distractions. And this is for Team Fortitude or anybody who comes across this as a helpful, useful webinar. My name is Whitney Vasquez, and I am recording this for anybody who wasn't able to make it on. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I am not perfect at this either. It's just one of those topics where it's something that needs to be talked about. And the more that I get to teach others about eliminating distractions, the better I get at it in my own life. So as for new coaches, you can look forward to that. It's very overwhelming at first when you first jump on into this whole coaching process, and I understand that completely. And so I wanted to help any way I can to give you some examples of things that I've gone through and how I've been able to overcome them as far as distractions goes, because it can be overwhelming when you are first joining this lifestyle of using social media as your business instead of just for pleasure. And so I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit of statistics as well as we go along. And please feel free to ask questions when they come to you. So John Maxwell, who is a very profound, very godly man who is very wise. He has several books and studies on leadership, and he's been extremely successful in leading churches and businesses and entrepreneurs. And one of the rules that he has taught to our team, our upline, that we've learned is that 80% of what we do in a day is not going to matter. Only that 20% of things that we do every single day is what matters. And if you stop and really think about that, it's called the 80-20 rule. And it's so true, because we think about it, like 80% of our day we spend doing monotonous things that we do every single day just to get by, just to survive. Chores, maintaining the house, maintaining your looks, maintaining your kids, maintaining your finances, just things that keep us alive, like cooking and hygiene and things like that. We do these repetitive tasks over and over and over, and they are habit to us. And what happens is we find ourselves being busy. And so if we slow down and think about it, we can also have bad habits as well as watching hours a day of TV or looking through magazines for half an hour a day. Just doing Facebook scrolling, gets sucked into that for 30 minutes to an hour a day or more. Those things are distracting for us, and some of them are deep-rooted habits that we have. And like I said, if we go back to that 80% of what we do every day doesn't matter, it's not going to make a difference, and progress us forward in our goals, we have to really stop and self-analyze. How are we spending our time every day? And what is distracting us from being productive? So when it comes down to it, with the principle of productivity is focus. Focusing is a fundamental principle of being productive. And we have to learn the art of blocking out distractions. Like, seriously, like a racehorse with blinders. Like, we have to put on our blinders and block out those distractions that are ailing us from reaching our goals. And this can apply to so many things, guys. This can apply to our nutrition. It can apply to our workouts. It can apply to our business, most of all. And then most importantly, actually, on top of business, blocking out the distractions from spending time with our family. And so I'm going to name a few of the distractions that we have as far as electronics goes. Social media, emails, and then just any type of social electronic screen time that we have. So here's a few ways to help block out the distractions that come with social media. You want to turn off notifications on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your Snapchat, Twitter, like whatever you have going on your phone that's constantly ding, 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 ding in your phone all day long. Turn off those notifications. What we're doing when we allow those notifications to continue day in, day out, day in, day out, is that our brain has to make thousands and thousands of micro decisions every single day. We're putting such a burden on our brain to make these small choices every day. Like we could be having a face-to-face conversation with somebody and our phone goes off and we have to make that decision to check our phone or to ignore the phone and keep talking to our friend. It's still a decision, no matter if you choose to look at your phone or not. So turn off the notifications. I swear, that's good. That right there, like you can take that to the bank. That's going to be helpful for the rest of your life, okay? You won't even listen to the rest of the webinar, right? Just turn off your notifications. Easy peasy. Okay, I'm just kidding. You do need to listen. All right, so second one, don't get sucked into the Facebook war, I call it the time warp, because like you could be scrolling through Facebook and you're like, oh, I'm just going to check a few on my news feed, right? And then it turns into like half an hour and you're like, oh my God, how am I late to the movie? Or how am I late taking my kid to school? I just was glancing at Facebook. It happens. It's like it sucks you in and you just scroll and you scroll and you like and you comment and you scroll some more. We have to be so careful about how we are spending our time as far as the distraction of social media. There's some really cool apps out there that you can put, I'm not sure if these work on the phone or if they work on the phone and a computer, but there's a few of them on there. One is called Invisibility Cloak. One is called Kiwi Cloak. Another one's called Time to Go, and that's where you can actually time yourself and it'll shut it off when the timer's up. And these will block out time-wasting sites when you're on your phone or when you're on your computer doing other things. You can, like if you're on Facebook and you are allowing yourself to go through the news feed, set a timer for yourself. Like, okay, 10 minutes, that's it, no more. I'm gonna let myself scroll for 10 minutes. We have to be diligent about those things or else we're just going to get on Facebook to do our power hour. And then we're going to be like, what was I on here for? Because we just spent 20 minutes looking at other people's posts and forgetting what our main purpose was, right? Okay, so moving on. What are we going to? Okay, so email. Let's talk about email. So we need to reevaluate what our email is for. And stop checking it so many times a day. Break it down and choose 2 good times a day that you want to check your email. Morning, night, morning, lunch, whatever. 2 times a day, just give yourself that limit and that's it. And delete all of your junk mail right away. And go into the emails that are like from companies trying to sell you stuff or people trying to get you to read their blogs or whatever. If you have absolutely no interest, no time, no, it doesn't add any value to your life, go in there into the email, scroll to the bottom, and unsubscribe yourself You're going to save yourself so many more minutes and hours in the day, you know, collectively throughout the rest of your life with your email by doing that. Unsubscribe from emails that are not giving you any value to your life. Most of the time, it's emails trying to waste your time, trying to tempt you into buying something, and it will end up getting you to browse the internet and waste another 20, 30 minutes browsing for stuff that you don't need, spending with money that you don't have on dumb things that, like, they hold no value to your life. This is just me speaking to myself right now. I'm not even, like, pointing out anybody in particular. This is, like, one of those things that is just, it's infuriating, because what happens is you go to a website and then they ask you, they're going to give you something for free, and all they want is your email address so that they can send you emails from now on out. So unsubscribe yourself from those emails that aren't adding value to your life, and you'll save yourself a lot of money and a lot of temptation and a lot of time, all right? And you won't be distracted by them. You won't find yourself doing your power hour, like you sit down to do your power hour, and then you find yourself looking at a clothing boutique. Like, you're like, how did that happen? It's because you got distracted. All right, moving on to just any type of electronic screen time. And this goes for just shows, movies, tablets, Kindles. I mean, unless you're doing your personal development, that's completely different. But sometimes people can get wound up in the personal development too. Like myself as an Emerald, like, I like to research and read and learn and plan and never put it into action. That's what Emeralds do. So we have to time ourselves sometimes too. Like, okay, I'm only going to listen to this one webinar, and then I'm going to do my power hour. Not get caught up in 2 or 3 webinars, right? We want to limit our TV, guys. The average person watches 37 to 40 hours of TV a week. When people are, like, posting funny posts about Netflix binges, that's not funny. It's for real. Like, people are on Netflix 37 to 40 hours a week. It's insane. And then you'll see in our lives, the same exact people will say, oh, I don't have time to do that, when it comes to working out or meal planning or doing anything that's, like, of significant value to their lives, especially us with this business. Like, we figure out the time to make it work when we know we're in it to win it. Like, we will find the time because it's there. It really is. 37 to 40 hours a week of TV, guys. Do yourselves a favor. Figure out how you can cancel your cable if you have cable. Go find your other stuff to color with. Sorry, guys. So when it comes to cable, we have been without cable for several years now. You're going to save so much money, first of all, not to mention a lot of time, not to mention, you're going to just be able to do those things in life that you always wanted to do because you have so much more time on your hands. And then, it's okay to watch TV. I'm not saying that TV is horrible for us. I'm saying if you're going to relax and watch a show with your spouse or whatever, like, let it be special occasions. You're spending quality time together. It shouldn't be an every single night thing. It shouldn't be something that is pulling you away from your goals, right? That's the point. That's the whole point of this webinar, is eliminating distractions. So when you find yourself in that mode where you are watching TV and you want to be in this process of self-analyzing, think about it. Like, what could I be doing right now to move myself forward in my goals or my business? What could I be reading right now? Things like that. When it comes to our cell phones, we don't even, like, these things are like attached to our bodies, right? The statistic is that an average person checks their phone 150 times a day. I don't know how accurate that is, but I kind of feel like it's probably true. That's so scary. So scary, guys. And like even right now, like my phone just lit up and I have notifications on there. I have mine on silent though, and I check mine whenever my husband's deployed, so I check mine quite often right now. But you guys, we got to turn off our cell phones when we're spending time with our family. That's a major thing that we need to be working on. And when you take the time to do that, or you don't even have to turn it off. You can put it on airplane mode. Do it while you're working out. Do it when you're meal planning. Do it while you're spending time with your family. Do it while you're working. That is going to help significantly because you are putting it on airplane mode. You're basically cutting yourself off from the world, and you're focusing with those blinders again on the task at hand. And with the family, excuse me, you know, this business we say all the time, like we're fitting it into the mom cracks of our day. And we have to have, and it is possible, we have to make time with our family important as well, a priority. And when we make it, we're going to have distractions with our family. So that's why my next thing that is important is to let your family know what your intentions are, what your tasks are, your business hours. When you have little kids, you know, explain to them, Mommy's working right now. I just need a little time to Mommy, you know, my time to get this done, and then we can play, or we can go to the park, or we can cook lunch, or we can do whatever it is. And give them an activity, get them a snack, set them up somewhere with a game or something like that, and explain to them, like, Mommy's gonna get this done, then we can go and do that. And that, for me, has been super helpful. My kids are just now in school, or both of them at the same time. I've been doing this for 3 years, and my son is in 2nd grade now, but my daughter just started preschool. So I've had a little one at home with me for the last 3 years. And you've seen me, I've been able to make this work. And so also when it comes to the spouses, you want to make sure to give them clear expectations of what you're doing and how long you're doing it for. And your spouse will be much more appreciative of that and will respect the time that you're putting in when you stick to it. So stick to your word. And even with the kids, if you have your own office, you could even you could make a special sign that says like, do not disturb, or mommy time, or something like that. Something that sets up a clear boundary so that they're not distracting you. Excuse me, guys, I've been sick this week. All right, something else that's really, really distracting, guys, your workspace. Clear off your workspace. I don't know how to turn off this notifications on my computer for my emails. My husband set that up so long ago. All right, so that's one of the things, right? Turn off the notifications on your computer too, unless you need them, unless they're emergencies, unless there's something that is going to be proactive. But yes, clear off your desk. Don't be having clutter and trash and food and stuff on your desk. On your desktop, on your computer, clear off anything that is not helping you, that's not visibly going to propel you forward. Don't be having a bunch of folders and icons and things that are just going to overwhelm you and confuse you. Whenever and I'm an emerald, so I keep things pretty organized most of the time. And if you're not an emerald and you need to work on your organization, this is the perfect place to start, guys, especially with sapphires. Set up a folder that says Beachbody. In that folder, you're going to have a folder that says meal plan guides, a folder that says the free 5-day to 7-day scripts. You're going to have a folder that says testimonies. You're going to have a folder that says favorite pick quotes or whatever. You can save pictures in there. You know, organize your files in a way that makes it way more efficient and takes away the distractions of like sitting there looking at your computer. You're like, where did I put that thing? Ugh. Like you get frustrated, gives you a headache, and then you get distracted and you want to go do something else. All right. I also just learned, which I need to do this, create a file that says to be filed. That way, if you're in the middle of a project and you don't know where to save it just yet, just tuck it in there so that you can go back to it and file it properly later. Don't get in a bad habit of just saving stuff to your desktop and just forgetting about it, and then you've got like 50,000 icons going across. All right. Also, you got to remember life interruptions are going to happen. It's inevitable. Set your phone up in a way that you only are answering for like your kids or your hubby or emergencies. Like I said, I put mine on airplane mode for a limited amount of time. If you happen to have visitors that stop by, whether you're at work or you're at your home, you can politely tell them, like, I am in the middle of an important task. Can we please reschedule? Like, I really do want to hang out with you and hear what you have to say and chat with you and catch up, but I'm in the middle of something really important right now. And then I'm sure that if they're your true friends, you know, if they're really good friends and they understand, they will respect your boundaries. They will respect that you're in the middle of something, and it won't be quite the confrontation, you know, that fear of having confrontation with someone. Just be polite about it and tell them, I'm in the middle of something. I'm really sorry. Can we reschedule? Other things, right? If you do have to take a call, or if you do have to answer the door and have a visitor or something like that, write yourself a quick little note and remind yourself where you're at. But if you're like me, also use a planner. It's one of the most things that I can encourage you to do, because it allows you to write a to-do list. And for me, I write out my month, and I kind of just do like the big things that are happening throughout my month so that I don't overschedule. And then I try to do, whatever works for you. You can do it every week. You can do it the night before. It could be the morning of your day. Do whatever works for you, but definitely have a to-do list so that you can manage yourself. That is the most important thing of an entrepreneur, or anybody. Anybody. You have a 9 to 5 that you need to be on task with things. You have to write down what you're thinking, your thoughts, your tasks, so that you can manage yourself and stick to your goals, stick to your time limits, and set boundaries. This always helps to plan and maintain your life buckets as well. And if anybody doesn't know what buckets are, Team Courage goes into that quite often. Summer Tucker explained, we have to have buckets in our lives, and we can't be filling up one bucket to where it's overflowing, and then the other buckets are empty. And when we're talking about that, we're talking about yourself, as far as like your faith, your fitness, your nutrition, taking care of yourself. You have, you're taking care of your family, spending time with your family, doing family things, events, quality time. You have your Beachbody business that has to be a bucket. If you're in this and you're wanting to make something out of your business, you have to make that one of your buckets. You have to fill that bucket every day. And then, whatever else is important to you, there's other passions and things that are important to you. They're going to be a bucket in your life. You don't ever want, especially your family bucket, to be empty, because then your family is going to resent what you do. And so those are very important. When you plan, when you use a planner, you help eliminate distractions. You help eliminate over planning or over scheduling, and you get more things done, and you get to fill up your buckets more efficiently. All right, another thing that helps eliminate distractions is completing small tasks. And what I mean by that is like anything that you can get done within 2 to 5 minutes-ish. Like if you just have like a bunch of tiny small projects going on all over the house, it's going to be like a burden, like just sitting on your shoulders. Get those little tiny tasks done so they're off your plate, as long as it's not like 10 of them, you know what I mean? Because otherwise that'll turn into a whole hour. But get those tiny little things done that you know is not going to take much time, like 2 minutes, 5 minutes max, and then sit down and focus. We're much more productive also in first thing in the morning. You definitely want to remember that. When you wake up and you are able to really just hone in on what you want to get done for the day and you start working on it then and there, it like sets up the rest of your day for success. And especially if you become a morning person, you wake up before your family, you get to have some peace and some quiet to yourself, unless your kids are super early risers like myself and Robin. You know, you have to get up even that much more earlier. But anyway, there's a book suggestion that I have. It's called Miracle Morning. I have not read it yet, but it is definitely on my to-read list. I've heard wonderful things about it. But wake up first. Enjoy silence and alone time, and it's distraction-free. And don't turn over in your bed and first thing you do, look at your phone, because that's just setting up the rest of your day to follow that, looking at your phone all day. Another thing that we need to talk about as far as distractions is caring so much what other people think. There will always be naysayers. I've said this before. I'll say it again. No one else, remember, no one else is going to pay your bills. No one else knows the desires that are on your heart, and knows how passionate you are about things. No one's gonna pay your bills for you, and or make that money to save up to make memories with your family, or take you on vacation, or things like that. No one's gonna help you pay to get to a missionary's trip, or whatever the desires are on your heart. Who cares what other people think and how you are choosing to spend your time? If you're choosing to give up your cable and spend your nights reading personal development, or doing a Bible study, or spending like legitimate quality time with your family, who are they to say how you're spending your time more positively? You know, life is way too short to be wasting a lot of energy on what other people are thinking about us, and just that toxic energy, and that's a very toxic distraction as well. I mean, even think about it when it comes down to like you're invited to parties and barbecues and baby showers and just a ton of events where people expect you to be there. And if you feel in your heart that it's a waste of time to you, or it's not going to add value to your life, or those kinds of the people bring the worst out in you, or you know what I'm going with this? You just feel like it's just not a good place for you to be. Who cares if people expect you to be there? Politely decline and say, you know what, I thank you so much for inviting me. I just cannot make it out. I'm way too busy. Or I just, I can't go. You don't have to make up an elaborate story. You just can't go. And people need to respect how you spend your time. And it's okay to say no. We have to get out of that mindset that we need to say yes to everything. It really wears down on a person. So I'm going to leave you with a couple of other things, and then we will be done for the night. Remember, the value of your life is not measured by the number of likes and comments on your Facebook as well. we can get caught up with that as coaches, or if we visit another coach's page and we play the comparison game and we're like, God, their posts are so good. Oh, they have 146 likes. Like, why am I only getting 3 likes on my posts? You know, we can get caught up in that negativity as well. Like, no one's even saying anything about us or being negative towards us, but we're being negative to ourselves. And that can be a huge distraction. No value. There's no value in wasting your mental energy. Where was I going with that? No value in wasting mental energy over negative criticism of those who only value their own self-interest also. And that's a quote that I read. We need to stop living distracted over the opinions of other people who just don't even matter. They don't even matter in our lives. Why do we care so much about what one specific person thinks, you know? I just want to leave y'all with this. This business really can be done in the mom cracks of the day, the 30-minute or the power hour, power half hours. The more that you do it, the more that you cut out distractions, it becomes so much more clear, and it becomes so much more easier the more that you put yourself in it as well, and you learn the efficiency of it, of typing out. You know, we can smack out 10 messages in 10 minutes. It becomes a finesse, and it's just like any other skill that you learn doing any other job. You learn how to have the finesse of it. You get to do it like the back of your hand, and you can get a lot done in your power hour or half hour, as long as we're doing the self-analysis and helping to cut out these distractions that are holding us back from reaching our goals. So I hope this was very helpful. Robin, do you have any questions or anything?
Well, I'm going to take it off my earphones. No, that was good. I did write down, like, you were giving those recommendations, and one of them was time to go invisible something. I didn't get a chance to write it fully.
Oh, yeah. So the first one's invisible cloak.
Like clock?
Like a cloak, CLOAK, cloak.
Okay.
And then the other one is kind of the same word, but it's a kiwi, like a kiwi fruit. Kiwi cloak.
Okay.
Basically, like, you're cloaking yourself, you're putting a cloak over your work that you're doing so that nobody can distract you.
Do you use all 3 of those?
No, these are just some that I found on a list.
Okay, gotcha.
And the last one was time to go.
Okay.
And so,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And do you still use TeamZ?
I do use TeamZ. TeamZ is incredibly useful because it's like specifically tells you what you need to knock out.
Right.
And then it counts it down for you, or counts up. But and then it also has on there where you can check off your workout and check off your Shakeology and check off your personal development and check off your social media posts. And I love that accountability on there, even though it's just me seeing it.
Yeah. Okay. What do you feel like has been, of everything over your years of coaching, has been the most eye-opening time sucker for you?
Facebook. Absolutely.
And besides, like, what do you feel like was the most helpful thing in realizing that to really, like, start not doing that anymore?
It was just the self-analyzing. I read the Compound Effect, and one of I want to say it was like in the 3rd or 4th chapter, he tells you to start logging how much time you're doing of a certain activity. And it could have been anything, like it could have been watching TV or whatever. And he just told you to log it over the course of a week. And one of them was Facebook, and I was appalled at how much time I was wasting on Facebook. And so that's my like super high recommendation. I mean, that might not be for everybody. Maybe,
right.
you know, maybe you don't struggle with that as much as I do.
Okay. No, this is good. I always like hearing, it's good to know you're not alone, like in the struggle. I think as most of us as moms, just trying to fit it in. And I guess for me, my personal progress has been not so much on, oh, this business is difficult, oh, this is just hard. It's more so, oh, I'm not as organized as I thought I would. I'm totally capable of this. It's just a matter of organizing your life, which is not easy. Right. But I think if you can get over the mindset of like, well, this is just too hard and it won't work for me, and more so that this is going to work for me because I need to be organized to be more successful in whatever I do, whether it be Beachbody or not.
Absolutely. And there's a couple of other things that I wrote on I was kind of doodling all over my notes. Successful people, like if you really follow the most successful entrepreneurs, majority of them do not own TVs. And they are the people that have learned how to manage their time most effectively out of everybody. And so that to me like speaks volumes, you know, and we're taught all the time, like, you know, go and do what the successful people are doing. So if we want to make something out of this and really be successful at this, we need to follow their footsteps.
Right. Well, I mean, if we put it in terms of like when we're growing up and we want to be really successful at whatever it is we were passionate about, whether it be music or a sport or, you know, a certain club, then you got to figure out what people who are successful are doing. They're practicing, they're, you know, whatever. And I think of that as an adult or as a mom and a wife, like, or as a business person, if we want to be successful, then like it's not Beachbody telling us do these things. It's literally, if you want to be successful in whatever you pursue, like this is what the successful people are doing. So you might want to think about adapting those characteristics if you don't have them.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Robin, for joining me. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Whitney, for what you do for the team, and I'm excited to see, how we all progress. It is all a journey, and we all have different, you know, it's all different for all of us. But if you can just hang on and let the journey happen, you'll be surprised. I think all of us always are with the growth that happens.
Absolutely, that's profound. All right, I love you, girl.
All right, love you too. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.